Hollywood is being rebuilt by artists not afraid to disrupt the status quo, telling fresh stories and bringing to life characters who until now have been confined to the margins. This is Emerging Hollywood. I'm here with Jameela Jamil, because she's one of the stars of The Good Place, who's all about empowering positive body image and who isn't afraid to use her platform to call out destructive standards of beauty. What was the perfect body to you originally?
When I was younger, I thought you weren't worth anything no matter what you'd achieved in your life unless you had jutting hip bones. So that's what I thought the perfect body.
I don't know what the hell that is.
That's a jutting hip. That's like when you're so thin that your hip bone is sticking out of your trousers.
Oh.
The look in the 90s, you know, when like Kate Moss was saying, nothing tastes as good as thin feels. It's you eating pizza? I think I was a very young kid when I first realized that there was an oppressive beauty standard on me. Also, it was very white, and I never used to see brown or black people really in my magazines or on my television.
So at 7, did you rebel against it, or did you want to embrace it? Did you know from the beginning, like, this isn't normal?
I didn't really like fully understand my shame. I just knew that I felt embarrassed about having a little 7-year-old tummy, which is like a completely normal thing to have. And I was growing really tall, so I was going out before I would go up. And by the time I was about 11 or 12, I had very, very bad body shame because I wanted to look like all of the anorexic models in my magazines. And I was fully anorexic by the time I was about 13. I wasn't menstruating. Like, my body was sort of letting me know that I was dying from the inside. And it's because I got hit by a car at 17 into another car and broke a part of my back that I was able to have some sense literally knocked into me, that I stopped starving myself.
Where were the parents at and the grandparents saying, eat, girl?
Anorexics are very, very skilled and secretive, and it's often very bright kids who are able to be successful at anorexia. So, you know, you just sort of, you lie a lot and you wear baggy clothes and no one can explicitly see your bones. You're not walking around naked with all your bones out all the time. You're able to keep it hidden, and, you know, there's a lot of stress from school. So I think parents just don't really know. And also parents, especially back then, weren't educated about eating disorders. The eating disorder numbers are the highest they've ever been. The self-harm are the highest numbers they've ever been. Highest teen suicide in the world. We're in chaos.
What about the car accident made you realize, like, yo, I gotta wake up?
Well, I was now like completely physically disabled and couldn't use my body, and realized that, wow, this body was doing so much for me all along, and I was just starving it and actively hurting it and trying to kill it all the time. And I took it so badly for granted. I felt great shame about that once I no longer had autonomy over myself. I was very sad to see what I had done and how I'd wasted the last couple of years of my life. And so I stopped starving myself and became healthier in what I would put into my body, but I still had an anorexic mentality that went on until I was maybe about 28, 29 years old.
You had a cancer scare at one point too, right?
Yeah, that's why I moved to America and became an actor. I had a lump in my breast and a doctor found it, and they make you wait a week to find out if it's cancer or not. And so I made a bucket list, which I actually call a fuck it list, of everything I would do if I found out I didn't have cancer. Yeah. And the number one thing on that list was move to America. And so 6 weeks to the day from the operation, you could fly. So 6 weeks to the day from the operation, I booked a one-way ticket to Los Angeles with no visa, no contacts, no friends in America, with no plan.
How'd you get into the media game?
I was an English teacher at the same school that Russell Brand was an English teacher. So I think there must be something in the water there.
Russell Brand was an English teacher?
I know.
Why the hell did I know that?
I don't know. I mean, he's done a lot of other things of note, so it's maybe fallen by the wayside, but we were both English teachers at the same school, and I was in a pub, the pub that we go to at the end of every week, called The Green Man, and a producer walked up to me and we started talking. He thought I was funny. There was this open call for this huge job to replace this TV host at the time called Ch1. And it was a nationwide call, and I was like, oh, no, I think show business is dumb, and I think the people in show business are dumb. And then he said it was £1,000 a day, and I was like, sorry, what was that you meant? And I went for the job and got it, and I have been a TV host and a radio DJ and a writer, and now an actress ever since.
It seems like you're a public servant, so I can see you being a teacher. And I can also see why maybe the industry doesn't fulfill you as much, so you have to do the activism and, you know, the empowerment of other people.
It's a dirty industry. I'd feel a bit dirty in it if I wasn't doing something to undo some of the damage that it does. There's also great parts of this industry, and I think entertainment is such a beautiful and important thing to do that I've been on the receiving end of how much it can save your life when you're down. But also the entertainment industry has some rotten parts of it that we're trying to slowly lift out. And I can't be part of it. I have to do something to rally against it. Otherwise, I feel like I'm a traitor to women and to young people.